This is an unreleased episode of Peppa Pig that was never aired on TV, The Dark Temptation. It all started as a normal day. Peppa and her family were living their usual life, playing and enjoying themselves. But that day was different. Peppa was playing in her room, and George was building a tower with blocks. Everything seemed calm and peaceful, but this peace was just an illusion. That day, Peppa started to notice something strange. Her parents seemed different, distant. There was something in the air, an unease that couldn't be ignored. Peppa felt like something was slowly changing in their house. It wasn't until she saw her parents sneaking off to the kitchen late at night that she started to realize what was going on. They were eating these strange, shiny, colorful candies. Peppa didn't know what they were, but she could tell something was wrong. These candies weren't like any sweets she had ever seen. They were almost magical, glowing with a strange light. At first, it seemed harmless, but as the days passed, Peppa saw her parents changing. They became irritable, distant, and cold. The candies seemed to take hold of them, transforming them into something unrecognizable. Her dad, once loving and caring, now sat in the kitchen all day, stuffing his face with the glowing candies, his eyes growing dull. And her mom was no longer the warm, comforting figure Peppa remembered. She was always on edge, angry and withdrawn. One night, when Peppa woke up from a strange dream, she saw something that sent a chill down her spine. In the kitchen, her parents were no longer themselves, their faces twisted into monstrous shapes, their eyes black as night. Their bodies seemed to grow and warp, as if the candy had turned them into something else, something terrifying. Peppa tried to scream, but no sound came out. She couldn't understand what had happened. The thing that had taken her parents, these strange candies, was not just a simple addiction. It was like a dark force that consumed everything in its path, turning her family into creatures of rage and hunger. The next morning, Peppa found the kitchen empty. Her parents were gone. The candies, now all over the floor, seemed to mock her, their glow pulsating like an ominous heartbeat. Days passed, and Peppa grew more and more desperate. The village was in turmoil, and strange rumors began to spread. People said the candy had started showing up in local shops, mysteriously appearing on shelves where they'd never been before. Children were buying them, and their parents didn't know what was happening. The townsfolk grew ill, and some even disappeared. Peppa's heart sank when she saw a news report on the television. The reporter spoke of a strange new candy that had appeared in the village. People who ate them began to act erratically, and many of them died or disappeared. The reporter spoke of the dangers of these magical, cursed candies, but it was too late. The damage was done. The report concluded with a chilling message. The candy's origins remain unknown.